now with Katie DeBow. I said it right, right? I got it. She can be taught, ladies and gentlemen. She is, I'm happy to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. This is our garden trend experts. Thank you very much. So you're going to teach me a thing or two as well. So we're going to kick off today, the two of us. This is brand new today. Who doesn't love a peppermint smoothie?
I know. I'm getting hungry.
I am too. It sounds delicious. So this is called a peppermint smoothie. It's a Rose of Sharon tree. M66948 is your item number. We have it on a great price today of $84.60. This is a tree, remember, and quite a large tree it can become as well. Free shipping and handling on a tree. I also have it on 5 easy payments, which brings it down to $16.92. Let's talk about this stunner for a moment, can we?
I know, isn't it amazing? You just look at those beautiful pink and cream petals. It's absolutely stunning. And these are double petals too on this tree. So you mentioned that this is a tree. So when we say Rose of Sharon, you might be thinking, oh, I know those shrubs. They can be 8 to 10 feet tall, loaded with flowers. Well, yes, this is the same thing. But what Cottage Farms has done is we have trained the shrub into be a tree. So this is something that it's going to be very hard to find at your retail outlets because they're not going to do that in your garden center. So if you love the look of a tree in your landscape, especially a flowering tree, then you need to get one of these because this is going to be so special in your yard. It's going to be covered with blossoms. So the Rose of Sharon blooms, these blossoms bloom all up and down the stem. And so why that's special and unique is because it's going to be flowers on the outside, flowers on the inside, absolutely loaded with flowers. Our traditional shrubs like the hydrangeas, they grow on the outside of the shrub. So you are going to have the flower power from late spring all the way through till first frost. So you're going to have that tree in your yard that gets to be 8 to 10 feet tall that starts blooming after some of your other, the cherry blossoms that we love so much, the magnolias that bloom in spring, they're done. And then this comes out and it is going to wow you all summer long.
It's a powerhouse. That really, QVC is one of the only places that you're going to be able to find this in a tree form. So when you're looking at this, keep that in mind and also know that we have fewer than 1,000 of these.
Oh, wow.
To go around. So if you want this look that you're not going to find anywhere else, we only have it for that's all we have for the entire season. Now is the time to start ordering, start thinking about it, reserve your peppermint smoothie.
That's right.
Get in line for your peppermint smoothie and such a great price of less than $85.
Wow. And the great thing about it is
for a tree.
For a tree, exactly. So you can have such versatility in this. So you see it's a pollinator plant. It's also going to be loaded with blooms. You can keep it in a container. If you're thinking, wow, 8 to 10 feet is way too big for me. I don't have the space for that. Plant it in a container and you can keep it as big as you want. You just prune it at the right time.
Oh, you can do this in a container?
You can definitely do it in a container. So I would love to see 2 of these on your back patio. They'll be loaded with these these beautiful pink and cream blooms all summer long.
Oh, they're
all summer long.
Stunning too. They're like the color gradation that happens.
Yeah.
That white is really stark, a little bit of vanilla-y in it, but then just that hint
of that peppermint,
pink on the outside is so unusual, and the way that it's backdropped by these gorgeous green leafy leaves. It's a beautiful piece.
But you won't even really be able to see those leaves because it's going to be totally covered in the flowers.
Really?
And it's a double Rose of Sharon, so you are getting that bang for your buck because what that means when you hear the word double on a flower, so it doesn't just have one layer of petals that comes around the flower. It's got 2, sometimes 3. So it has all of that flower power just with one flower. So not only is this plant giving you the flower power in its blooms that are all over the plant, but each flower individually has just those layers and layers. It's like ruffles on these petals. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, like ruffles.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very voluminous. Oh, it's really quite the stunner. And I just love that Cottage Farms has gone out of their way to train this to be something different, something that we haven't seen before, and something that you're not going to find anywhere else, really.
And we were talking earlier about why garden centers want to put out in spring the things that are blooming in spring. So not only will you not really find your Rose of Sharon tree at your garden center, but this beauty blooms in the summer. And so she's going to be in the back of the garden center. You're not going to be able to find her. That's why we want you to order it now, put it on reserve now, so when it's time to ship to you, you will make sure that you get your peppermint smoothie.
Now, how tall can this get?
So it can get to be 10 feet tall. I mean, if you have the space, I would love to let these go. You know, if you have a gazebo, line them around your gazebo. If you have a fence that you want to put them against. I mean, I love to see these at their mature height, but I know a lot of people have smaller landscapes. You're downsizing, or you don't want to have the upkeep of a big garden anymore. So you can still have this tree, just pop it in a container, or just prune it. If you want to put it in the ground, that's the great thing about plants, is that we get to control how they grow. We can keep them any size we want them.
If we're thinking about putting it on our patios or something like that, how much sun does it need?
So the great thing, again, this plant is so versatile. It can work in most kinds of soils, and it can tolerate full sun. It can take part shade. So, you know, because it will be a bigger plant, you know, it will probably shade some of your other plants, but it can take part shade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is how it comes to us.
This is how it comes. Isn't that amazing?
It's
this is
cute.
It is cute. And so you will get flowers in your first year. The one here, probably we're looking at our second to third season, but you'll definitely get flowers on it this year. You can actually already see some of the buds on this one. Yours may or may not have buds when it comes to you, because we like to make sure when it arrives to you, it's ready to grow, ready to go. But what I love about this is how you can see this trunk has been trained. Cottage Farms has been growing this plant already for years at the farm in Alabama. And so we've been training this for you. And one of the things you want to do, if you want to keep it in tree form, if you see these little green buds sticking out here, all you need to do is just take your finger and pluck them off. And that will keep it in this tree form. Because remember, this is a shrub that we have trained to be in a tree. It still is going to grow like a shrub.
So if I left this on, it would start to grow like a shrub?
It would start to grow a flower out from that little spot. But what you're doing now is you're telling the plant, send the energy up to those gorgeous flowers up top. Don't shoot out from the tree. And that will be the only care that you really need to do for it if you want to let it grow to its full potential.
But I love the idea of having it as a tree because it's so unusual.
I know.
It's something that you're not going to see anywhere else. And it just gives it such like height and drama.
It does.
With that amazing plumage on top.
Right. And the fun part about it too is when we talked about that you get to control how you want it to look, you can make it look more like a traditional tree with, you know, an invert, like a funnel shape, or you can prune it into a lollipop shape. You can make it look whatever you want it to look like. And that's really the fun thing about why I love having these trees.
Now, is this better in some climates versus others? Because
Well, that's the beauty of this Rose of Sharon, is that it is super hardy. It can withstand really frigid cold, and it will take the heat. So, and it's also a long-lasting tree. So because it is so hardy and so tolerant of all climates, this tree can live for 40 plus years.
Really?
So this is an heirloom tree. This is an investment that you're making in your landscape, just like any garden plant that you pick. I mean, any of our perennials that come back year after a year, you're making an investment in your landscape. You're making an investment in nature just by gardening. But this one, you're making it a big investment in, because it will be a generational tree that you pass on.
Well, now we have fewer than 900 already remaining on this special tree, something that you're not going to find anywhere else, because Cottage Farmers put in so much love and care into creating something different and something unique. So when we're thinking about, you know, our new landscaping for the new season, you know, you can get a little unusual. We've seen some unusual flowers already in the show. But now I love the idea of playing with different heights